planning and intention are everything. We're gonna be talking about all of the supplements and snacks and everything that I'm packing in terms of food. I am so excited for today's video. I'm gonna be taking you through my full packing, planning, and prep process for healthy travel. If you haven't been following my channel, I am in week 5 of an 8-week challenge to try and get visible abs and take you along every step of the way to show you what it really takes to get there and reach that physique goal. So this trip is right smack dab in the middle of that challenge. I'm gonna be going to my little sister's graduation for the weekend. We're gonna be eating out a lot. I'm gonna have very little time to work out, and it's going to be hard to stick to my nutrition goals. So I'm super excited. I will be vlogging the whole thing, so stay tuned for that. So if you have any travel coming up this summer or this year, I really hope this video will be helpful. First thing we have to do is make a plan, which is something I've been thinking about for the past few days a lot, and I'm just gonna share my thought process with you. I think planning and intention are everything. Intention specifically really dictates how we feel about our actions a lot of the time. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not sticking to our normal diet and exercise routines while we're traveling. But like, for example, if I had planned to stick to my diet and do all these workouts on my trip and then I got too lazy or I just didn't feel like it on the trip, I would feel guilty about that. But if I had been realistic from the start and said, hey, I'm gonna take this week as a maintenance, I'm gonna rest from the gym. If I do any workouts, great, but I don't really care. And it's fine if I'm eating a little bit higher calorie. I'm not gonna try and stick to my fat loss goals during this week. Then I can actually just enjoy myself on the trip without feeling guilty. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to choose your strategy or plan for your trip, as long as you're realistic and it aligns with your goals. So that's what I'm trying to do personally. Let's talk about nutrition planning first, which I think is one of the biggest components. So I'm in a fat loss phase right now, so I'm gonna be talking specifically about fat loss. And if you wanna stay on track with fat loss while traveling, I think there are 3 main options. The first is maintenance. This would mean that during the trip, you're eating the amount of calories that wouldn't cause you to gain or lose any weight. Some people may consider this going off track if you would normally be in a calorie deficit, but I personally wouldn't consider it going off track. Like, a couple of days or a week or 2 of not losing weight is really not going to kill you. You can always just get back to your deficit when you come home. And for most people, I think going into maintenance mode while traveling is the move. If I was not in the middle of Project Abs in this 8-week challenge, that is what I would be doing. But unfortunately, I am. The next option is sticking to your regular deficit. Let's say your maintenance is 2,500 calories, you're eating in a 500 calorie deficit, so your normal daily goal would be 2,000. You can try to stick to eating 2,000 calories a day while traveling. One way to achieve this is something called calorie banking. Essentially, it's when you eat less calories leading up to your trip so you can save them for later. That way you can eat more during your trip, but still achieve a weekly average calorie deficit. So I would calorie bank if I could, but I legitimately cannot eat less calories than I'm currently eating. It's funny because I know people go on much crazier diets than I'm on right now. I am still within the healthy range, preferred range for maintaining muscle, being slow and sustainable in terms of fat loss. So I'm good there, but still, I am so hungry and I struggle so much just to hit my current deficit. The idea of decreasing it to calorie bank anything for the weekend is just not happening for me. The last option, of course, would be somewhere between your deficit and your maintenance. And this is probably where I will end up landing. My plan is that I'm going to shoot for a deficit, but I will be happy if I'm anywhere underneath my maintenance. So I am going to continue tracking during the trip, which I probably wouldn't do if I wasn't doing this 8-week challenge, but I have a photo shoot that I'm planning for end of July or early August, and I want to be looking my best for this shoot. I've made commitments to myself and to you all watching in terms of Project Abs, so I'm just gonna go for it. I also realized I've never really pushed myself to try and be healthy and continue reaching my health and fitness goals while on vacation, and I'm just really excited to challenge myself and see what I can do, and then just kind of learn from the experience and share what I learned with you all watching. So one weird thing I do in terms of nutrition planning, which you may hear this and be like, that's psychotic, and that's fine. It's not for everybody, but I'm a really picky eater and it's hard for me to find restaurants I like. So I will just go on Yelp and actually look around the area and make a list of restaurants that I have things on the menu that align with, first of all, my nutrition goals, but also are just things that I can eat and I would enjoy eating. This sounds even crazier. If I know that we have reservations at a certain place or that we're going to be going somewhere, then I will even go as far as choosing what I want off the menu in advance. First of all, I get very stressed trying to have a conversation with the people at the table and pick an item off the menu at the same time. Second, if I choose when I'm at home, when I'm not hungry, I have a much better chance of choosing an option that's aligned with my goals than if I wait until when I'm at the restaurant and I'm already starving. So sometimes it's just nice to take the mental load off and pick what I'm gonna have in advance, but that's only if I know the specific restaurant that we're gonna be going to. Next thing to plan is exercise. exercise. For a short weekend trip like this one, I'm only gonna be there for like a little over 48 hours. Nutrition is certainly more important in my opinion than exercise. My workouts only usually burn a few hundred calories anyway, so it's not gonna make a huge difference in my calorie deficit to miss my workouts a couple of days. And I also think because it's a graduation, I will be walking around at least a little bit and be generally active, so that will help too. My plan for the weekend is that it would be a nice bonus if I'm able to find time to work out, but it's not essential. If I do work out, I'm planning to either go for a walk or do a bodyweight session. I already have lots of bodyweight workouts that I've written myself. I also have programs that have bodyweight workouts. I have it kind of like planned and prepped. If you don't have a program or your own workouts written, I think it's really nice to have a workout planned out, whether you want to write it or you want to find one on Instagram or YouTube or whatever and save it. Having it all right there for you makes it a lot easier to actually get that workout done. For this trip specifically, I am not bringing any fitness gear. If I did want to bring gear, my favorites personally are to bring resistance bands because they're small, they're lightweight, very compact. Yoga mat is good too, but I do not have space for that. And personally, I tend to just use a towel if I really need that. I never bring weights with me because that is just way too annoying. And plus, if you only need like a 5 or 10 pound weight, oftentimes like your water bottle or something like that can work as a weight in like desperate times. I do, however, need workout attire. So the only thing I'm really packing is just 2 workout outfits because 2 workouts is like the absolute max I would do. So next we're gonna talk about snacks. So I will meet you in the kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. We're gonna be talking about all of the supplements and snacks and everything that I'm packing in terms of food. I found one of the most helpful things for trying to stick to your health and fitness goals while traveling is preparing in terms of snacks and just bringing your own snacks with you. I just try to be realistic here. I'm going to want snacks. Like I love snacking on a daily basis. That doesn't change when I'm traveling. So I would rather just pack my own healthier snacks that are more aligned with my goals and have those. Or sometimes depending on the trip, I will just go on a quick shopping trip whenever I arrive. I have everything spread out here that I'm gonna bring. So I'm gonna walk you through all of that in case it gives you some inspiration. First thing is a few protein bars. So I love the Fit Crunch ones. These have a little bit worse macros, but they taste really good. The Bear Bells is also pretty tasty, not quite as tasty, but the macros are a little bit better. I'm also taking these Anna bars. This was my first time trying them. I'm not sure if I would get them again. They taste amazing, but they lean more on the side of candy bar than protein bar, and they're a little bit higher in calorie. So for 20 grams of protein, it's 290 calories. They do taste delicious. So I'm bringing these as kind of like a higher protein dessert. When I'm at home, I normally just prefer to get my protein through a Ninja Creamy ice cream. I'm also bringing a bag of Jolly Ranchers. I love hard candies during fat loss because they last a really long time and they're usually pretty low in calorie. Like I think these are only 25 calories each. These are great for the plane or anytime I'm just kind of bored and don't feel like having gum. I love these. I'm bringing 4 bags of goldfish because I'm obsessed with goldfish. I've been obsessed with goldfish since I was a child. They're actually pretty low in calorie, lucky for me. I mean, even if they weren't, I would still love them. But yeah, honestly, not too bad for fat loss. I especially love these for the airport or when I'm on the flight. Delta used to give out goldfish and then they stopped, and that was very disappointing for me. This looks really sus and it is kind of random, but I'm bringing 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. And the reason is that when I'm eating out a lot, I find it really hard to get enough fiber in. Fiber is a really important part of gut health. It just helps me to feel my best, and during fat loss, it's really helpful, especially because it makes you feel a little bit fuller and more satisfied. Since I'm probably not going to get much fiber on this trip since we'll be eating out a lot, I can just throw the chia seeds into my water or into my protein shake, get some extra fiber in. If I'm feeling really crazy, maybe I'll add some milk and sweetener and make like a little pudding. I will also be bringing this water bottle empty to the airport. I actually might bring a smaller one. I recently got some Evolve U water bottles because I refer people to use the app from my review of it, because this one is 40 ounces and it's a little bit hard to travel with, mostly because of this. I kind of want, yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Hold on. I think this is gonna be the perfect bottle because it's a little bit smaller and it has a lid. I like when I travel to have one that has a lid. I find that the straw gets really annoying when I'm on the plane and I just feel like it kind of gets gross. You have to put it in the bin to go through security and it like touches the bin. It just kind of grosses me out. So bringing a water bottle is super helpful for staying hydrated. I find that it's a lot easier to find places to refill your water. So I would bring some single serving packets or like a plastic bag of protein powder, but my sister called me and told me she has leftover protein powder that I can use. So I'm just gonna bring an empty shaker bottle in my bag and then use her protein powder. But I think having protein shakes is a really nice way to help hit your protein goals for the day and enjoy food out at restaurants and not worry so much about it being high protein. You can just have a protein shake at some point in the day. So I find that really convenient. I take a fish oil and a probiotic every day, and since it's already in this like travel friendly container, I figured I may as well just take it, but I often do forget to take these when I bring them with me. I've been loving the Waterboy electrolytes recently. So this is the strawberry lemonade flavor. Blue raspberry is my current favorite, but we do need to use up strawberry lemonade. It's not a bad flavor. It's just not as good as blue raspberry. I like it because it has 0 sugar, no artificial sweeteners. It has a good ratio of sodium, magnesium, and potassium, the 3 electrolytes, plus has vitamin C, vitamin B12, and a little bit of L-glutamine, which doesn't hurt. So 2 of these are nice to have even if I don't end up working out because it'll be warm and we'll be outside a lot. And electrolytes are an important part of hydration, not just water. In these very suspicious looking plastic bags, I have creatine and L-glutamine, which I take every day. If you're interested in learning more about my experience with L-glutamine, all the benefits I've experienced, some of the research on it, I will link the video I did on that up here. It has totally changed my life. And one of the biggest benefits that I've experienced is that it helps support my immune system and I get sick a lot less often when I'm taking it. So I was debating whether or not I was going to bring creatine and L-glutamine. I ultimately decided I was going to bring it. Main reason being I do tend to get sick sometimes when I'm traveling, probably because of reduced sleep, but also like the airport and the plane are germy places where there are a lot of people. I decided to play it safe and take that. I just find it nice to kind of stay on track with my daily supplements because first of all, I take them for a reason. There's a purpose for each of them, whether it's to make me feel good or to have certain performance benefits, whether that's physical, mental, whatever. So it's nice to continue that while I'm traveling and just stay on track with that. And that is everything I'm taking in terms of supplements, vitamins, snacks. I think my biggest tip for this is to just plan ahead, think ahead of what is going to be convenient for you to have. I think it is well worth taking up a little bit of space in your suitcase or even making a short grocery list of things you want to pick up whenever you get to the place you're traveling to can be really helpful. I find it's a lot easier to stay on track when you have things accessible that are aligned with your goals. Like if everyone in my family is sitting around and eating chips and I have nothing fun to eat myself, that basically guarantees that I'm going to have those chips that maybe aren't as aligned with my goals or would be hard for me to fit in and remain in a calorie deficit or whatever. Whereas if I have my little packs of goldfish, it makes it a little bit easier. Now I need to work on my packing list. I'm a huge packing list person and I make very detailed packing lists. And then we will chat everything packing. Took a dinner and dessert break. It is time to pack. Before I came up, I just set all of my tech, except for my camera, which I am using right now, all of my tech, so my headphones and everything, to charge because I like to have those charged up the night before so I don't have to stress the day of. My nails have definitely seen better days. I was hoping to have time to switch out my press-ons for a different set before I left, but I don't really feel like I have time. I have a lot of work to do before I leave. I'm just gonna bring a few extra nails in an assortment of sizes and bring my nail glue and just hope that I don't lose a nail that I can't replace because that would be awkward. I don't feel like they look terrible. They're just like starting to chip a little bit, which is weird because they're fake. So like hopefully I have time to do a layer of fake tan. I just use the Isle of Paradise tanning drops. I'm not gonna show that on camera because I do not wear clothes for that, but I will just mix it with lotion and use a tanning mitt to put it on just to avoid my hands getting orange. I find that sometimes it gets into like the crevices and gets orange even if I wash it off. So I just prefer to use a mitt. I don't think you have to technically. My skin has also been pretty bad lately. I'm wearing makeup right now, so perhaps you can't tell, but it has been out of control. So one thing I like to do is just do an exfoliating treatment. I just use one from The Ordinary, and sometimes that helps to calm it down a little bit because I have super oily skin and usually the oiliness is the source of the breakouts, at least I think it is. The exfoliating treatment tends to help. Sounds counterintuitive, but for me it really does. I just avoid putting it on active spots that are like angry. All right, let's start packing. Okay, so my sister just texted me that I will basically be attending a college house party. I'm 24. It's been a hot minute since I have attended a college party. I paid a visit to the college section of my closet, tried on a few things, and I was like, did I actually wear this? Like, I am so exposed. My entire midriff is exposed. So I'm just gonna kind of wear activewear, like jean shorts and an activewear tank top, and hope that that looks okay. Also, does anyone else get really sweaty trying on outfits? Like, that's why I honestly don't try on outfits before I travel. I just will pack random stuff and hope it works out okay because I hate trying on clothes. Funny enough, I used to do a lot of activewear reviews on this YouTube channel. I would literally be dripping in sweat by the time I was done trying on all the clothes for the review. It was insane. Does this look college house party to you? But without like being too young. Like I don't want to be too young, but I don't want to look like a grandma. I think it'll be good. I mean, it's what we have. So I also just found, very exciting, a big yellow stain on these jeans. These are the only pair of jeans I have presently that fit my body at all. So they're gonna have to do. There's nothing I can do at this point. I leave tomorrow at lunch. So it's on the back of the leg. I'm gonna leave it. Just telling the truth, I'm gonna call it a day. Enough chatting, I need to put some stuff into the suitcase. So most of my clothes are packed at this point. I have a few things that I'll probably add last minute tomorrow because I always change my mind right before I leave about what I'm gonna wear. There's lots of stuff that I use right before I leave as well, like obviously my toothbrush and like some of my makeup and stuff, so I'll probably finish packing toiletries tomorrow. I'm gonna get my ridiculous snack and supplement stash packed into my backpack. Randomly, I just looked at this and I was like, oh, I really wanna wash this, but you're not allowed to wash Fjallraven Kanken, I think that's how you say it anyway, backpacks. They have, I guess, like a wax seal on them that will be destroyed if you wash them. So I just took like a wet cloth and wiped it down. So I feel a little bit better about that, but I would love to wash it. I've had this since I was in college. Anyway, gonna get her loaded up and then I think we're basically done for tonight. I do have a lot of tech I'm bringing. I'm bringing my camera, a little tripod, a mic, all the camera accessories. I'm bringing my laptop, headphones, stuff so that I can edit on the plane and at the airport and stuff. So I am bringing kind of a ridiculous amount of tech for a 2-day trip. I mean, I'm just bringing a ridiculous amount of stuff for a 2-day trip in general. I'm just an overpacker. It's in my nature. One thing I love about these backpacks is they have this back pocket. So I'm just gonna stuff all the snacks in there so that my snacks are easily accessible. One thing I do hate about this is that very often it will break open in my bag. So I like to have it in a pocket. So at least if I have vitamins floating around in a pocket, it's a little bit easier to clean up. Okay. Oh, there was one more supplement I realized I take normally that I needed to pack. It is magnesium L-threonate. I take that every night and it helps me sleep through the night. It's incredible. I'm obsessed with it. And then whenever I travel, I'll always pack a couple of melatonins. I don't use melatonin on a daily basis, but I find that when I'm traveling, if I'm struggling to fall asleep, it's just really nice to have to fall back on because I'll basically fall asleep instantly after I take some. We are losing daylight here and I've gotten the majority of my packing and prep done. So I think I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope maybe you took some tips away that you can use for upcoming travel, or I don't know. I personally love watching people pack their suitcase. So at the very least, I hope it was relaxing or entertaining. I have some really exciting stuff coming up with my Project Ab series, lots of fun travel. I'm gonna be taking you along for everything I'm doing. I'm so excited. So if you're interested in sticking around for that, I would love to have you. Make sure to subscribe. I upload new videos every 3 days and I will see you next time.